This is Ezekiel 34:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? Shalom, shalom. This is Amawan from the Lions Den Camp of Yasha'Allah, coming at you guys with another lesson. Hope it's edifying to the Akim, to the Akwafim, to anyone that's out there listening. Before I get into it, I want to give all praises to the Father and the Son and the Holy Proper True Names. And I want to say, Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Bahashim, Ha, Rakah, Kwadash, Ma'amaf. All right, double honors to the apostles, to the editors of GMS. Salutations to the Akim that's pushing this truth diligently around the four corners of the earth. All right, also double honors to my elder as well. And the lesson I'm going into today is based upon this clip you see here. It says the Kansas City pastor demands money from the church. And then here again, it's another false prophet or a false teacher. All right, false leader. All right, that's still scattering the flock of the Lord, man. All right. A judgment is definitely coming unto these false teachers and these false leaders, all right, they're still leading our people astray, all right, and not to the Lord, all right, especially for filthy lucre's sake, man, all right, because a lot of these pastors, all right, and these so-called, preachers or whatnot, they're not doing according to what the Lord has said, all right. So let me go into a few scriptures as well as I'm gonna play this video, and I hope it's edifying, all right.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here. Y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all. I'm over your cheap expressions. See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon, it's not with respect of want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying.
All right, back at Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 1, it says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherd feed the flocks? Come on, man. And the reason why I was bringing this scripture out because, that's pretty much the topic of what's going on. All right, he's wanting to be, he's wanting to be worshipped by his congregation. He's wanting his congregation to pretty much buy him a Movado watch, man. All right. Hey, these so-called pastors don't want to teach the people the proper doctrine of the Lord. All right, they want to teach of how they feel. All right, and then they want to get rich off of the way they teach the word, man. They're not teaching the truth to our people, man. They're scattering our people still. All right, and even him, and just like all these other pastors, they're doing it for filthy lucre's sake, man. They just want the money. All right. So the scripture says, woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? Because that's the job of a shepherd. The shepherd is to feed the flock. All right. All right. And if you're calling yourself a man of the Lord, all right, you're supposed to be feeding the sheep the correct doctrine, man. All right. Not what man has said about, all right, the Lord. All right. Because Esau have these our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, teaching teaching the same doctrine that was taught to them when we was in slavery, you know. But now they doing it and they gaining for filthy lucre, man. All they want is the money, man. All right. So the scripture says in verse 3, it says, "Ye eat the fat and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock." So these pastors, they eating of the fat. They getting rich off the people. They profiting off the people, man. All right. But the truth is that they're not doing nothing that's righteous in the eyes of the Lord, man. They're doing wickedness, man. All right. They're doing it for their own profit, man. All right. Verse 4 says, "The disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have ye bound up that which was broken." So, our people are still sick out here in these streets, man. All right, and they're not doing what's right, man. They're not healing the sick, man. Our people are still sick. Our people are still stuck in this Stockholm syndrome. Our people are still sick to this system. All right, our people are sick for not knowing the Lord. All right, but again, these pastors want to feed them everything, all these vanity, these vain things and these vain babbling words that doesn't mean anything or doesn't have no type of substance that's gonna help our people grow or to have our people be turned back to the Lord from their wickedness. They're not doing that, man. It says, "Neither have ye brought again that which was driven away, neither have ye sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them." So these pastors, all right, these so-called pastors thinking they have with their congregation, they're not ruling them. They're ruling them to fall out to err from the faith, to err from the Lord, man. These pastors causing our people to be alienated from the Lord, man. And that's why the scriptures talks about in Jeremiah 23:1. It says, "Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastor, saith the Lord." What woe means? Woe means destruction, man. Death and destruction is coming to 2/3 of our people that's not hearkening unto the Lord, as well as to these false prophets that's not doing the will of the Lord the correct way. All right. So let me skip down to verse 15. Verse 16. It says, "Thus saith the Shalak." Is Jeremiah 23:16. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of the Lord," man. So we just saw here how he's speaking these vain things. He was calling his own congregation broke, you know, and poor, you know what I'm saying, and cheap, because they didn't want to buy him a Movado watch. But he's also uh profiting off of the people from this fake doctrine that he's teaching to the people, man. He's teaching this prosperity doctrine to the people and still getting rich off of them and still asking for a Movado watch, man. That's how vain and evil our people is, man. For the want of money, for the want of fame. Cause what the scripture says, it says the love of money. Let me get it. It's a manifest lock. It says the love of money is the root of all evil, man. Our people love the money, man. You know. But what profit is it for you when that money is only temporarily, man? This money can't compare to the riches of the Lord, man. That's the thing that our people need to understand. All right. Rubies and silver and gold doesn't have no type of comparison to it, man. All right, because these riches is the riches of the Lord, Yahweh by Shemi Shai. These riches last forever. The scripture says in Isaiah 33:6, it says, "In knowledge, wisdom, and understanding shall be the stability of that times, man." Hey, even the scripture says, it says what? Let me get it real quick. All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 12. It says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth light to them that have it," man. So if you don't have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man, you're not alive, man. You pretty much you at a dead state right now, man. But it says what? It says wisdom is good with an inheritance, man. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, man. Our people don't want wisdom. They want the wisdom of this world, but not the wisdom of the Lord, man. And what it says, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. So it's profit that you have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord. But when you have a pastor or a preacher that's teaching otherwise, that's not teaching what's needed for the people to be wise, it's causing the people to err. It's causing the people to go off. It's causing the people to inherit folly. All right, and that's what's going on, man. And that's what has been always going on. Our people love to inherit folly rather than to inherit the inheritance of them, from the Lord, man. I'm gonna go back to Jeremiah chapter 23, and I'm gonna go to verse 16 again. It says, "Thus said the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They make a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of the Lord." So these false prophets that's not doing according to the Lord, all right, they prophesying to you lies, man, and vain things, man. That's not gonna hold you up in the day of trouble, man. I'm gonna skip down to verse 21. It says, "I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied." So come, man. It says, "But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings." But that's the point. The point is, it says he have not sent these prophets, man. All right, and these people claiming that they know Yahweh, all right, but then they're not doing it according to knowledge, man. It says I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesize, man. So these people are speaking these vain things, man, in these whorehouses, man, because the scriptures do talk about in Acts 7:48 that the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, man. So that's another strike for our people to know that to not dwell in these temples made with hands, because it's not, the spirit is not there, man. All right. So let me go to
found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado wash in Sam's. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what
and I'm gonna leave it off with this. This is the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 10. It says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers." Come on, man, it's definitely a lot of unruly and vain talkers. All right, especially those that's in the religion of Christianity, man. All right, because a lot of these so-called preachers and so-called pastors are definitely not teaching the correct ways of the Lord. They're not teaching the doctrine of the Lord. All right, they're teaching the vain things of their own mind. All right, the deceitful lust of their mind, man. This says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers." He's deceiving the people, man. All right, especially of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake, man. And that's the prime example of how these pastors just want the money. They want to be profited. They want to profit off the people, man. They want to profit off the people, man. But hey, the riches of this world is not gonna last forever, man. And it's only temporal. And that's the thing that these people need to understand, man. Hey, because what's gonna happen is, well, what's happening is they selling everybody out for the money. just not have any type of substance in a time of drought or in a time of uh famine, man, or the time of trouble, man. All right, let me get this scripture real quick. And I'm gonna leave it off with this. This is First Peter chapter 5 verse 2. It says, "Feed the flock of Yahweh, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind." So it says to feed the flock. That's a commandment from the Lord. He says, "Feed the flock of Yahweh, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof." So if you been a so-called pastor or a so-called preacher, all right, he said, you taking the responsibility of your congregation. You're supposed to be teaching the words of the Lord, all right, without constraint, all right, but willingly telling the truth, all right, and what the truth is, all right, and not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. So being ready to speak, ready to communicate the words of the Lord, man, ready to speak the truth and not lies, man. Not to speak upon these vain things, man, or these vain babblings that these men be teaching of, man. All right, because if you being a shepherd of the Lord, all right, you being willfully and not for filthy lucre. So you're not doing it to gain riches here on this earth, but you're doing it to edify the people, man. All right, because the scriptures talks about how we should be giving charity to the people. All right, charity to the people. All right, willfully giving them the truth, man, and not expecting anything in return, man. All right, and that's the problem that's going on with these pastors, these so-called pastors, man. But the scripture says, "Woe unto these pastors, man," which means destruction. And I want to say shalom.